So earlier this week we had a major blackout here in Portugal that also affected France and Spain. The supermarkets had to shut down because they couldn't take any payment, the trains stopped working, and while the world around us shut off, our little off-grid system kept us going. So in this video we're going to tell you how we kept with power during this blackout, what we did to be prepared, what we're doing to be more prepared, and what things we're going to be doing to become more self-sufficient in the future. By the way, this video isn't sponsored by any product, so all of the products that you're going to be seeing are all honest reviews. It's also worth mentioning that we haven't been able to do many of the projects that we wanted to do because it's been raining constantly. It rained yesterday and tomorrow is raining as well, so we are a little bit set back, but hopefully next week we're going to be going forward a bit more and we have a more meaty update for you guys to watch on our renovation. And also mentioning another thing, Omar had a major surgery and he's been missing in action for a week now. He's got another week to go with his foot up and he can't do anything for another week, no lifting weights or anything like that, so it's a little bit hard for him, but that's another one of why we have been set back with our project. So there you go. So for those of you that haven't read the news and what happened during the last few days, we had a major blackout in France, Spain and Portugal. There were areas in Portugal that didn't have power for more than 12 hours and we got our power back 10 hours later. But it was really interesting what happened because things like the metro didn't work in Lisbon and people got stuck in the tunnels, and there was a little bit of a panic at the beginning, so people went to the supermarkets and started buying loads of food and water and so on. And there were some things that I didn't think would close down that did, so it really made us think about how to be more prepared in case of this happening again, because up until now, Thursday, the 1st of May, when this was filmed, we still don't know what really happened. So maybe our grid is a little bit more sensitive than we thought it was. So maybe some precautions need to be done. So this is our off-grid system here in the tiny house. It's the EcoFlow power kit and it's been very good to us. It's very easy to use. I think for those people that have no idea about how to make an off-grid system, this is a really good solution because it's just very simple. It's just connect, plug in, and that's it. So we have all of these connected. It will probably keep us afloat in terms of electricity for about 2 to 3 days. Everything is connected to it, but the oven and the AC unit. With the battery, it's not powerful enough for everything to run, so those two are not connected to it, otherwise we'll just trip. In fact, when we put the kettle and the coffee machine on at the same time, it trips. That's why we have to use them at separate time, but that is actually not a very big deal at all. So for those that are looking for something that's very plug and go, this is a brilliant option. Now, it is a much more expensive solution to the common off-grid system that you can get where everything is separated. So that all-in-one, you pay for that premium. Also, obviously, it's not going to be able to be customizable because it's a plug-in and go. So what you can actually sort of like change is the battery, so you can get another battery or you can get more solar panels and so on. If this system had another battery and more powerful solar panels, which we can get anytime because you don't need EcoFlow branded solar panels for these to work, it would just be perfect for this, okay? But if you want to do like a van or something smaller where you're going to have less gadgets, this is a really good solution. For the house, we are very likely going to go for the conventional off-grid system because it's more customizable, it's a lot cheaper, and it's just overall more personalized to us. But this has been very good to us at the same time as it was like a few days ago. I'm gonna start with the smallest one. This is the Jackery Explorer 500. This is our first battery and we were really excited when we got it. We've used it loads. You have different ways to charge up. So you got a AC over here that you close, which is very handy because you don't want sometimes to be exposed to the elements. You got USB-A, which is not great now, right now because USB-Cs are very popular. You got a display screen and you got a really handy light on the side, and then a handle on the top, which is very easy to transport, and it's pretty light as well. The only thing I don't like about this power bank is that you need a Jackery solar panel to be able to charge a Jackery power bank. It's not a universal one, which is not great. So more on that later. But overall, Jackery make really good products and we're overall very happy with it. Overall, should I say it one more time? There comes the Viver 2 Max, which is a really good piece of equipment, to be honest. This one has 2 AC connectors, which is much better, and it also has a USB-C with 3 USB-As. I really like this one in a way, even more than that one. In fact, we use both sometimes and we use them like this. So I really like that flat surface because you can put all your gadgets on top. And then you can also charge it with any solar panel. It doesn't have to be an EcoFlow solar panel. It can be a cheap solar panel that you have at home. So this is also a massive plus. If you can hear anything going on in the background, I don't know if it's picking it up. Someone is doing some serious work in the back there. I think it's the eucalyptus people. Oh, you can probably tell what's gonna be my next complaint about this. This is the GrowWatt 1500. It's really good. This one is kept in my mom's room, so this is what she used to power her bedroom. So she had a light and she had the television and all her gadgets charging. Oof, I need to catch up my breath. But it's really good. It's 1500 watts. And it's a little bit confusing to use at the beginning because you have a power button over here and then you have to turn the DC to be able to use, and then you have to turn the AC to be able to use. So if you kind of forget that, you plug something in and then you just, it doesn't work if you don't turn things on. But overall it's really good. The only thing is that it's very heavy for what it is. But that's probably my only complaint about it. It's got a flat surface. You can actually charge your phone over here wirelessly. And you have 4 ports. Sorry, they're dirty. They don't get cleaned toward YouTube. That's just how they are. But they're brilliant to have 4. And then you got 4 USB-A, and then you have 2 USB-C. So yeah, it's a really good equipment. My mom had it. It was on 95 at the beginning and it's now 77%. So it gave her a lot of power, and it's good to have something this powerful for her to keep in her room just in case this happens again. But the weight is a little bit over the top for what it is, because I'll show you why. Now this is a really nice piece of equipment. This is our Anchor. This is 3,000 watts. So it can actually power a washing machine 3 times if we needed to, not that. We've actually tried it once and it worked really well. It took about 20% or 30% of the battery, but it was just to see if it would work. But that's like an extreme case of what you use this sort of thing for. Got 3 ports. It's got a wonderful light, and it's been really useful, this light as well. And it's got plenty of ports to charge. It's got a really nice wheel system that is all terrain. We've used it around the land here and it's been great. And it's got this easy tow handle, which is, it's been really well designed. This is a little bit heavier than the GrowWatt, but I think for the amount of capacity and all of that, it makes sense why it's so heavy and why I need wheels. I think the GrowWatt will probably benefit from some wheels. And it's got also ports here at the back to charge and reset, and again, you can use any solar panel with it. This is brilliant to have at home. I don't have any complaints about this. It's always worked. Anker is actually a really good company. We didn't know that one of our portable batteries was Anker before we worked with them, and we love that battery, so it was just a nice coincidence when we found out. It's fully charged at the moment because that's the first thing that we did, to charge everything when the blackout happened. So this is obviously the biggest solution we have here for emergencies, and it's being used. Actually, friends have bought it so they can use it for the renovation, and it's worked really nicely with their tools and so on. So it's being handy for other people as well, which is brilliant. And we do also have another EcoFlow battery power bank, but that is with Simon. We give it to him, and that's also a really good piece of equipment. We do have actually two portable solar panels. One is made by Jackery, which is the Solar Saga 100 watts. And that is a very nice solar panel design. The design of the flaps to be able to prop itself up, and the zip and all of the cables in the back, it's very good. The problem is that the connector is just for Jackery, so you can't use it with any other power bank, and it actually doesn't work anymore, so that's another negative thing. But our EcoFlow one, it still works. It's really nice design on the front, but to prop it up is a real pain. The design is a little bit floppy, so I think if they mash together the two, it will be like the perfect portable solar panels. Those are the solutions that we have here. We were very lucky to have them all, and we've been very lucky with the channel to be able to provide them for us. So thank you very much for watching, because then we get these brand deals amazingly. But I really wanted to do like an honest take on these power banks, because they're becoming very popular. There's more that are going to come out, and I think the more important thing is that having something that is big enough for the emergency. You don't probably need something as big as the Anker, really. Probably something like 1,500 watt or any other brand that you like, it will do. All of these brands are really good. My personal favorite is the Anker, because the products are really well made, and the EcoFlow as well, for sure. And the versatility. We haven't really tried Bluetti yet, but they are also very well known and very well reviewed. So I think the most important thing is versatility, that it provides enough power for all the main gadgets that you need. Probably your fridge is one of the most important, which is about 80 watts. And that is easy to transport, and that you can carry it, and it has a light. I think every power bank should have a light, so that's something that the EcoFlow and the GrowWatt is missing. Portable batteries, get a light in there, it's very important. If you want to have a bit of a more in-depth review of each of the power banks that I just showed you, they're going to be linked in the description below. I just have to come over here because it's very noisy in the forest. But one of the things I really wanted to, it was really an eye-opening thing, was the lack of water we have here. We are connected to the mains for water, so we really want to find solutions to have our own water supply. That means either a well or a borehole. So when Seca and Enrique were here doing the floor, he did like a dowsing with some olive twigs, and he said, oh yeah, you do have water here, which was also confirmed by the topography we did when we bought the property. I think now having a borehole or a well has become quite a priority for us now. So we're going to be looking at the legalities of doing a borehole, because you do need to get a permit for it, and you need a license for it. You need to do also a study of the ground, where will be the best place to do it. But we have no idea about any of it, because it never really crossed our minds. It sort of did, but now we're sort of prioritizing it even more. So if any of you have had any sort of deal with a well or a borehole, had to do something from the very beginning, I would love to hear your thoughts, or you can point me to the right direction. especially people that have done it here in Europe, especially Portugal, of course, because it has become a massive priority for us to have our own well of water supply. The other thing that we want to do is harvest our rainwater. So we are canalizing all of the guttering into one specific area, and then we're going to have some IBC tanks that will then store our rainwater. So if anything happens, you know, because when the fires happen, sometimes the water supply goes down because the water gets diverted to all the places where it needs to go, or the electricity sometimes can also cut your water supply. Now it has become a massive priority. So let me know what you would do first. Would you just like go straight to the IBC tank, probably, or would you go for a borehole, or would you do a well instead of a borehole, or are they the same? We don't know anything about it. If you know anything, please let us know. I'm happy to hear. So this is our current build, as you guys know, some of you, and if you don't, this is our living room kitchen area. So the kitchen is over here, and the living room is over here, and then behind it is a bedroom, which we will be moving to later on. One of the things that we really want to become far less reliant on is gas, because gas canisters are becoming more expensive, and we're not connected to a gas pipe over here. So we thought it might be a better idea to be relying on something that there's more abundance of, which is wood. So we're going to be installing a wood stove boiler over here. So on this wall, which is going to be cladded with lovely stones that we saved from the rest of the building before, we're going to have a stove boiler over here, a wood stove boiler. And it's going to be a salamander, what they call in Portuguese a salamander, which is a freestanding wood stove. We've been looking for something like that because a inset one, what in here is called a recuperador, they're very bulky, they're very big, and it's just going to take away from the stone wall, which is a feature wall. I know it's less of a practicality and more of a aesthetic thinking here, but hear me out. We can have a freestanding, so we're looking for either, it needs to be 12 kilowatts output of energy to be able to heat this place nicely. So we either have a 10 kilowatt freestanding here with a 2 kilowatt radiator to complement the stove, or if possible, finding a 12 kilowatt stove boiler, which is achievable. Then it's going to be connected through here to this wall, and then the expansion tank is going to go on top of our bathroom and then connect to all the radiators in the house, in the main house, which all the rooms are going to be, and also the bedroom next door. I'm going to show you something else. A very interesting thing that happened during the blackout is that gas stations closed down because they relied on the electrics to receive payments. So isn't it nice to have some electric bikes that we can charge over here with these power banks and off-grid system? So if you need to use your car and you don't have any petrol or you are running low, you're not going to be able to. So a push bike, obviously, a motorbike or an electric bike or anything like that will be a very good idea to have around, because gas stations close down when there's a blackout, which is a bit crazy. And another thing I really recommend to do, which we're going to be doing from now on, is we got a couple of petrol cans of 20 liters. So we have 40 liters of petrol to put in our car if need be. And on the topic of petrol, thinking about getting a generator might be a very good idea, but if you're living in a densely populated area, you might be telling everybody else around you that you have something they don't, which is power, because generators are usually quite loud. So maybe think about that as well. I think we will be fine because most people here have generators, but that's something to really think about, because I think it was a series I watched in the UK where someone just came in and stole the power generator because they could hear it. So that's scary. I think the biggest takeaway of this is how fragile our grid system is, and also that we can just get a few things to just make our lives a little bit safer for a few hours or a few days. Maybe starting small. We don't have to go all out and spend thousands of pounds or euros or dollars into crazy off-grid systems. We can start small, just something that will power your fridge, keep your medicine safe, keep your food safe, and obviously something that will power your gadgets so you can communicate and be aware of the world, what's going on. This is a very interesting lesson over here for us, and I hope you guys can see that through as well, and maybe you guys will do something about it for you to have just a little bit more of peace of mind. And then moving forward, we are also thinking about water now more seriously to make our off-grid building progress more self-sufficient in the future, apart from obviously canning and having animals, growing our own food and so on. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a different one, and hopefully next week we have a bit more of an update. It has been a little bit of a slow progress at the moment, so we want something that you can really enjoy and meaty, full of content and progress. So what do you guys think? If you have a power bank that you really enjoy, brand that you really enjoy, please let us know what is your favorite one, or if you have your own off-grid system and you have gold knowledge from us and our viewers as well, because we all read the comments together. It will be amazing to know your stories. What would you prioritize? Would you prioritize water? Would you prioritize getting the tiny house a little bit more power? Like I said, like some things aren't connected. Or should we just wait for these builds to be done and then invest in that instead? Let us know in the comment. Would you do a well? Would you do a borehole instead? I would love to hear your thoughts. We're here all to learn. I hope you are enjoying the progress and the process of building a off-grid life here in the Portuguese countryside. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week. Subscribe if you haven't.